I guess I would like.
Just lost you again, Wendy. I don't know what happened there.
What do you, well.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, I just got a recording that said that we're now being recorded.
Well, I did just push record, so interesting. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
I remember I meant to start the recording here.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'd like to do is, since we just have a handful of people here on the line, is just kind of go through and say our names and kind of what we do at our schools, and then what role we play in civic engagement or service learning or such on our campuses, just to get a better idea of what we do. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So I guess I'll just go ahead. Ariel, would you like to start?
Sure. This is Ariel Donahue. Again, I'm with MSU Bozeman, and I'm the program manager of the Diversity Awareness Office. So I actually currently don't do direct like service learning or service engagement, though I work to get students engaged in different diversity programs, cultural celebrations, service around diversity and identity issues. And I used to work in the Office of Activities and Engagement, which I still work closely with, but I'm not directly in the service world here at MSU anymore, just kind of maintain those connections. So it's a little bit of a, usually I'm doing homework to be able to report what's going on in regards to engagement and service learning here, because it's not my day-to-day anymore.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. How about Carol?
Carol Reifschneider. I'm the interim dean of the College of Education, Arts and Sciences and Nursing. And like Ariel, I don't deal directly with service learning, but we do have some programs that under my college that do have service learning in it, primarily our community leadership program. I also work with our admissions area and our student engagement area on campus, and they have a lot of service learning that goes on through there. So.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. How about Curtis?
Yeah, I'm actually a faculty of psychology here at Helena College, and kind of where Helena College is right now is we're really trying to figure out where service learning really fits in. We do have a coordinator who does work with students who are interested in service learning, but we're really kind of in the building phase of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. How about Ruth Ann?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I'm Ruth Ann. I work in the Institute for Educational Opportunities here at Montana Tech. So Montana Tech doesn't have a service learning or an Office of Community Service, and so we try to be that office that holds that information. But some of the clubs do service and some of the departments do service, and they're not real good at tracking that. And so that's my goal for this year. I'm also the advisor for Circle K, which does probably 75% of the tracked community service hours here at Montana Tech. So that is why our chancellor asked me to be the kind of representative for our campus here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And how about Jill? You want to talk about what your role is? And
well, I do a few things here at Rocky. So my title, I'm Community Service, Veteran Support, and Parent Relations. So I oversee the off-campus work study program, student volunteering, our new veterans program, and then, of course, anything related to parent relations. And so I do a lot of direct service with students and oversee a lot of the community partnerships and programming that happens. As far as service learning, don't do service learning here at Rocky yet, but I'm working with our chaplain to get that into the course catalog for next semester so that her and I can actually start teaching a course or just setting it up so that others can start implementing more service learning moving forward, because it is one of our core themes, the civic engagement. And so we're trying to help push that forward together.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I guess next I'd like to have Marlon James go. She's one of our faculty members here.
Hi, I'm Marlon James. Currently, I am part of the, well, actually, I'm the head of the education department, and I'm also the social science division chair. And I kind of see my role in this as informing faculty and encouraging faculty to participate and have their students do something as part of their coursework.
All right. Thank you, Marlon. And again, Wendy, Jeske, I guess, you know, I do the service learning and AmeriCorps contact here at FTCC, as well as Phi Theta Kappa, which does a lot of service projects as well. So that's kind of a little bit about what I do here at FTCC. And so I appreciate everybody giving their input. It gives me a little bit better idea of different perspectives that we have. I guess what I'd like to do is go ahead and move on. And Josh, if I know you had a few things you wanted to talk about, so I guess what I'll do is I'll turn it over to you. And if you want to go ahead, we'll start.
Sure. Yeah, I just had a couple of things that I thought were pertinent to the advisory committee that I wanted some advice from you all on. A part of this group is to help inform our office about what we're doing. So thanks for humoring me on this. Campus Compact, the national organization that each of your institutions belongs to, by way of its Montana Campus Compact affiliation, puts out an annual survey, as you likely know. Typically, it opens at the end of the year in December, and it closes in the middle of January, I think is the rough timing of it. We have the opportunity as a state to add in specific questions of our own. If you want to know as an advisory committee, you know, have you tapped someone at your institution to be on the advisory committee, for example, we have the opportunity to put that into a Montana specific question that goes out to all of our all 17 member institutions across the state. So those are due on Monday the 21st. I included both the full questionnaire that goes out to institutions, as well as the set of state-specific questions that places like Florida, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, DC ask their members as well. So we have a couple days to kind of decide if there are any Montana-specific questions we'd like included into that, and send them in. So I think in terms of doing that, if folks have, you know, we'd like to have a kind of immediate discussion. If there's anything we'd like to be, you know, including in this is, I think, a good way to kind of, you know, kind of test the waters across the state for us. You know, it's not something we have to do, but it's an opportunity there for us. So if anybody have thoughts on doing a state-specific, any questions of our own on this? doesn't sound like immediately. If you have a chance, look over the other states' questions. I will give it some thought, and if I get struck, with some things that will be helpful for kind of our work in Montana, or for what the advisory committee is taking on, I'll make some recommendations for you. Currently, I haven't got anything that I feel like we absolutely is a burning need that we need to include, that we could get from another place. And I think we're a small enough state where we have pretty good communication among members. But definitely, if you get an idea, just send email or give me a call with it before Monday, and I'll get it in. The next thing is that nationally, all Compact affiliate institutions are eligible for some travel funding to participate in an action summit that's going to be held in November in Baltimore. And it is specifically, it's looking at how service learning and teaching that incorporates some sort of a community based perspective or service learning component supports student success. And so the Action Summit, the funding is available to get teams of folks from campuses. So perhaps someone from academic affairs or from instruction, department chairs, faculty, campus leadership to attend and come up with some, planning around how best to kind of incorporate and why a campus might incorporate a community-based learning with its typical instruction to support student success. Those applications are due September 30th. There's a link on our website, mtcompact.org. And those are dollars to support travel to Baltimore for that specific conference, something that all of you through your Compact affiliation are eligible for. And then finally, the National Compact organization, we have our 30th anniversary. So Campus Compact will have existed for 30 years. In 2016, and in March is the 30th anniversary conference held in Boston at the Edward M. Kennedy Center for the U.S. Senate, which is at UMass Boston, right in downtown Boston, close to the water. New beautiful facility where the 30th anniversary will be held. And I believe it's the 16th through the 18th. I might have the wrong week in March, but I believe those are the dates. But it's all on the National Compact, compact.org website. And so the last day for the introductory to low conference rates for that is September 30th. So if you're thinking about going, and I think it will be an excellent conference. Robert Putnam will speak. It'll have folks that do similar work to, I think, what we all do from around the country. So great for professional development, great for networking. I think great for being part of a national movement that's celebrating 30 years. The last day for those low conference rates is September 30th. So if you're thinking about putting in a request, I would encourage you to do so while the low conference rates are in effect. So those are my main updates. Happy to answer any questions or provide any more detail on those if you're interested.
Josh, do you know what the dates are of the conference off the top of your head?
Let me quickly see here, Jill. I wanted to say the 16th through the 18th, but it might be the following week. It is March 21st through 23rd, 2016.
Okay, so if anybody wants to attend that conference or do the mini grant, we can just go on your website, Josh, or let you know.
Yep, it's all on the MT Compact website under, I believe they're all under news, kind of the listing on the very front page of mtcompact.org.
Mm-hmm. So, and we need to have that done by September 30th again, right?
Yes, the low conference, the lower conference rates are September 30th, and the Civic Learning Partnership grants are also September 30th.
Okay, perfect. Does anybody have any more questions on those conferences or anything, or have any input on the survey? Okay, so I guess we'll go on to the next part, which I have on here is business. A little while ago, well, I don't remember what month it was. Maybe it was, well, I wasn't there in July. Maybe it was June. We had talked about possibly talking to the presidents at our institutions and kind of discussing campus priorities. Just to kind of see what the needs are out there, what the priorities are, kind of maybe help us with setting some of our goals. I did go ahead and talk to my supervisor, which is the Dean of Students, and she took it to executive staff, and she came back with 3 priorities, top priorities for our school, which were student retention, student engagement, and college readiness. And so I was kind of curious to see if anybody else had a chance to go talk to someone or find out what their top 3 priorities were for their campuses.
This is Carol in Havre, and the main push for our campus is recruitment and retention. I would also say that student readiness is also a big push for us as well.
Okay, thank you. Did anybody else have a chance to kind of discuss that with maybe their administration or their supervisors about what priorities would be for their campus?
I apologize. I would have had that done. I just didn't know that was something, because I'm just coming to this first meeting. That's what we wanted to have done. I apologize, but I will get that information from our president.
You don't need to worry about apologizing. So, in one of the things that we'd like to do with the advisory committee is kind of work on, our goals and some strategic planning. So, if you didn't get a chance to do that, I think it would be really beneficial if you guys or someone from one of the schools could talk to some of the administration possibly, and either send that information within maybe the next week or so to Josh and myself. That would be great. So if you could just find out what the top 3 priorities are, that would be excellent. And again, just send it to either Josh or myself. And then we can kind of see what everybody's focus is at and where we need to go. So something else, and kind of leading into strategic planning, which is kind of priority for Montana Campus Compact, is getting a strategic plan in place. And I know that when I reviewed the priorities, and Josh and I talked on the phone for quite a bit, so I would have a little bit better understanding of some of this. Some of the wording was, the lingo was kind of confusing to me. And I didn't actually see it attached to the email, Josh. Do you have a separate document with the strategic planning information on it?
Well, I sent the link out within the email, so it's a web document that just has those 4 questions that kind of have the national broad priorities, and then opportunity for folks to say, here at MSU Northern, we can translate this into, student retention or whatever the specific local priority was.
Okay, sorry, I guess I missed that link in that email. So I would like to kind of just look at those 3 strategic priorities, I guess. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and skip to number 2 since that's what we kind of been talking about. And I don't know if you guys can see that on your computers or where you're at, but number 2 says help solve critical issues facing member institutions and their communities by catalyzing, promoting, and amplifying civic engagement innovation. And I think, it goes on to say, please be specific. Please list specific actions that you would like to see taken by the Compact Network over the next 3 years to address this priority. Well, as I've seen that, it kind of links back to our campus priorities and what we see as our top 3 priorities. And so for me, and there I wrote what our priorities are. And I think if we hear back from the other people on the conference call today on what your priorities are, I think it's going to help us fill out that strategic priority number 2. So I guess on that, I would just encourage everybody to, give us some input. I mean, we definitely need input from everyone to help us, accurately fill out our strategic plan. So does anybody have anything to add or say on strategic priority number 2? Does everybody kind of understand what it's asking for? Okay. Well, I guess what I'll do is, again, if everybody can maybe email Josh and I and kind of let us know what the top 3 campus priorities are for you. That would be great. That'll help us with that strategic plan number 2. And then also, I guess I'd like to get some input from everyone on the line. Strategic priority 3, it says maximize our collective potential as a network through improved accountability, collaboration, and communication. And so one of those things is strengthening our advisory committee. And I kind of feel like we need to know each other a little bit better, maybe communicate with each other more on what is happening at each other's campuses. So I guess I'd like to get input from committee members on ways they think that we can strengthen our communication with each other, just to build up our network and improve, the services Montana Campus Compact could provide. So does anybody have any suggestions or ideas on that?
Well, I think one thing would be fun would be to talk about, right before National Service Days, what each of our campuses are doing for that service day. Just so maybe if one of us are struggling with ideas, or just to have it, recorded somewhere. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think any avenue that we can use to help with that too, I think would be great. I don't know how many people do newsletters or how often, but it would be nice to be able to share that information maybe by sharing each other's newsletters.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy, can I quick break in? Something is going on with our meeting again, and I think it's because I logged into my free account. So I've just sent out another meeting link. This one has got about 1.5 minutes remaining on it, and then we're just going to get kicked off of it. So I will figure out this problem in the intervening month and just make sure that we have this set up correctly. But folks should have at the top of their inbox a link to restart this. It should go pretty quickly. So I apologize for the technical difficulties going on here. Yeah, I think if we just quick end this meeting and start up the one that's in the top of your inbox, we should be in good shape. So.
Okay. I guess we'll take a 5-minute break and let everybody log into that new meeting then.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.